of your Asheville native Thomas Wolfe. And so when I read Look Home with Angel, I thought I'd been to Asheville and gone through every block before I ever came here. But I have to confess that Thomas Wolfe's last book, You Can't Go Home Again, it turns out to be false, by the way. My president's a library in Arkansas, and I still have a school of public service there. And in the springtime, I know that's still my home. But it had a big influence on me because Thomas Wolfe wrote it shortly before he died of tuberculosis of the brain at the tender age of 38. And it was written right at the rise of the Nazis, just before the outbreak of World War II. And it was a very moving book, but at the end he writes a beautiful letter to his old editor. It's one of those beautiful paragraphs in the English language. It starts out, something is spoken to me in the night, burning the tapers of the waning year. And it ends by saying that something big is about to happen in the world. The wind is rising and the rivers flow. Something big is happening in this world. And we have to change America. And we know that. You know, I got people there. My daughter was campaigning in Indiana, and Hillary was too. And somebody asked her if she thought her mother would do a better job than I did, and she said yes. And so they called and asked me what I thought, and I said, well, shoot, I say that in every speech I give. I say that because I always feel like when I'm up there talking for Hillary, about half the crowd looking at me saying, you know, I better discount about half of what old Bill says, because, I mean, they're married. You've got to say that stuff or you can't go home tonight. There's probably some truth in that. But what I want to know is, knowing what I know about the presidency, the enormous promise of this country, the unbelievable problems we've got now, all the troubles we've got around the world, and yet all the things that could happen for the good. If I had never been married to her, but I had known her as long as I have, I'd be here anyway. I think she's the best candidate I've ever had. I want to say this has been an amazing election. All these people ran for president this year. More people voting, more people giving money, more people doing things than ever before. And we just got 3 candidates left. And in different ways, every one of them is truly a historic candidate, including Senator McCain. They represent something profoundly different in American public life. And so there will be history made. There's already been history made. But elections fundamentally are not about history being made. They're about whether your future will be made in the right way. And therefore, now what we have to do is to pick the best president. And I guess I ought to start by saying Hillary thinks that it's a good thing that every American ought to have a chance to vote in this election, and that the people in North Carolina are going to be voting. She does not agree with some of this elite opinion that somehow it's bad for our party to have all this disagreement. And that we ought to just shut this down. You don't really need to know. We don't need to hear from you. We're the people of West Virginia or Kentucky or these other places. She thinks she should be heard from. She believes every vote should be counted, including those people in Florida. The Republicans are supposed to be the ones who want to get Florida. She thinks everybody ought to be heard from. But what I want to talk to you tonight doesn't have much to do with politics and has everything to do with your lives. And I want to ask you first, if you're for her, to help her, to work for her. You need to know that in February, after she won those big victories in California, New Jersey, Massachusetts, all the political establishment up there against her, the people voted for her anyway, overwhelmingly. Then she lost all the primaries and caucuses because she was out of money. Then people just like you decided they wanted her to go on. And her voters are by and large working people who weren't used to giving money over the internet. But when they realized she was down and out, over 300,000 of them gave her $30 million in February, so she could go out. And believe it or not, she was still badly outspent